Oh god, it's getting harder and harder to do these videos. I've been working all day. I'm getting home. I'm tired. My head is it's like shit. I cannot think even straight. And I have to do a YouTube video. But this is the only thing I'm left with. I don't have a choice. Because if anyone wants to do something in their life, they have to keep going. So I'm not going to stop. I'm never going to stop. And I know that it's the same thing with Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin's been having all these attacks, all these downtrends, all this instability, all these crashes. But Bitcoins keep going, and it's going stronger and stronger every day. It gains its 50% dominance after everything, after all the forks, all the bullshit. So I guess I have to continue what I've started. So guys, in this video I'm going to talk about how to choose where to invest your money. And most of the time I'm going to talk about investing in cheap cryptocurrencies, because I've already made a video about why you have to invest in cheap cryptocurrencies if you don't have a big amount of capital. So let's start with the basics. The first thing you want to do, you want to invest in something that is working. For example, everybody know that let's say Ethereum is a smart contract, and most of the people know that smart contracts are working already and it can be put in work. So Ethereum is a good investment. The same thing like Steam. Steam is a blog post platform and it's already working. You can use your Steam immediately. So it's a good investment because you actually see it. On the other hand, if you have something like where is it? Oh, it's not even in top 100 already. Whoa. Where is it? Redcoin. For example, Redcoin. Oh, it's number 70. Redcoin. It's not put in use. And I'm going to give you an example. So let's say you're an investor, you want to invest in something that is stable, and you go to Redcoin, and the first thing you want to do, you want to go to their website, and you start doing research. You start reading all about this cryptocurrency that, for example, Redcoin is a tipping platform and so on. And you want to make sure that first, they have actual developers. What you can do, you can go to their GitHub, for example, and you can start seeing what they're doing. So as we can see, Redcoin has a huge project that they are working on, but most of them are updated like a few years ago, and this gives me uncertainty in Bitcoin, in Redcoin, because I want something that there is actually developers and then they can push it forward for the future. So if there is no developers, why should I use it? So the last update here, it's 24th of May, June 17, 18 days ago, Redcoin. So Redcoin, we see it's a fork from Litecoin. Let's see. So yeah, a year ago, 3 years ago, 7 months ago. So yeah, they're probably not very active developers right here. So you might consider a risk investment. But on the other hand, if you continue your research, probably if you're going to invest a good amount of money, you want to know everything about the cryptocurrency. So you're going to start reading a lot of things, and you have to, you have to do your own research. So you go to all these websites and you start looking what they're doing right now. So they have as you can see, they're not very active, and this gives me a little bit uncertainty in Redcoin, and probably it's not the best investment you're going to make, because as I told you, it's not put in use. I don't know of any social media that is using Redcoin, so you can lose your money with Redcoin in few years. But on the other hand, who knows? Who knows? That's why you have to do your big research, because some of these companies, they're working on the blockchain outside of GitHub, I think. So they might actually work, but you have to go to Slack and all of these platforms for developers, and probably, for example, Redcoin has this website, development discussions. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Most important is simple, I cannot say. So there is some activity here, and if you want to go deeper, if they're actually doing something relevant, you have to go deeper. So I'm not going to do that because it will take a lot of time. So do your own research, go to all their websites. For example, some of them are posting on Twitter. Let's see what's going on Twitter. It's coming along nicely and much faster, and speed it now in close it bit. So they're developing web browser wallet, which is good. Redcoin HD browser wallet. Maybe they're developing something else outside the GitHub, which is on HTML. Who knows? That's why you have to do better research, because some of these things are deep, and it does now being processed. Who knows? Do your research. The other thing I want to talk about is how much is the circulating supply. For example, Dogecoin. I thought that Dogecoin is a good investment, but Dogecoin, it has I don't think if they have total supply, they might go to 500 billion coins one day. So you want to find something with low supply, because that means that it's going to increase in value probably faster, and it's not going to be inflationary. It's not going to be peak inflation, and you're not going to lose your money if the more money came into the cryptocurrency. So if I compare Dogecoin with some other cryptocurrencies, I'll give you a good example right now, and you can go through all of this and you can check them out if they have actual developers and what their mission is and how they're going. So for example, I'm going to do a video about which are my best choice, so don't worry about that. So the next one is Verge. Verge is almost the same price, not the same, but a little bit expensive than Dogecoin. But they have maximal supply of 60 billion Verges, which means that there is no inflation, and if they can always increase in value. So it's probably better investment than Dogecoin. Another thing is that if you do a little bit deeper research on Dogecoin, you'll see that Dogecoin developers are they are doges literally, because they're not developing the cryptocurrency um, as it should be, as the cryptocurrency of the future. And I understand them because nobody is paying them and so on and so forth. But and the recent news are that Exodus, for example, Exodus are going to stop working with Dogecoin because their developers are not doing such a tremendous work to optimize the blockchain and so on. On the other hand, Doge, they have actually very good technology behind. It's very fast blockchain, so it's not that bad because they have very, very fast transactions, and who knows, maybe they can come up with something very good. For example, if they develop very good wallet or something, they may actually turn on to the other side and be very, very good cryptocurrency. But this depends on you, if you believe in Doge and you feel like the coin. And also it's not that risky because it's very cheap, so you can invest small amount of money and get a lot of coins. On the other hand, Verge, they have actual developers if you do the research. And the other thing about Verge is that it's a private cryptocurrency, which is a big differentiation of Dogecoin, because there is a lot of coins like Dogecoin. Everybody has a cryptocurrency. Everybody can make a cryptocurrency, but it's not very easy to make a coin like Verge. And now that I don't know why their website is looking like shit, but what the fuck. But if you go to Redcoin and you start doing some research, June, so they're very active on Twitter, which gives me a little bit of trust in them, because they're actually doing stuff. So they have developers, they have their own YouTube discussion, and I know if you go a little bit more deeper into Verge, you'll see a lot of deep shit about Vergecoin. There are some serious dudes, and I think they're a huge competition to Moreo, and probably they'll be the second biggest private cryptocurrency after Moreo. Who knows? And also there's some big news coming out for Verge, I think. I'm not a lot of on these things, but yeah, Verge is definitely a good investment because, as I told you, has a fixed supply, which means that it's not going to inflate, and your investments will most likely increase in value in time. On the other hand, Dogecoin, they can go up, and the circulation can go more and more and more and more. The other thing is, you need to find something unique. For example, Verge, they has this differentiation from the other cryptocurrencies that they are private. Dogecoin, it's not very differentiation from the other coins, so you want to find something that's different. For example, Saya coin, there's not very much coin like Saya coin, because it's only like 2 or 3 like Saya deep cloud based blockchain technologies, and they're also doing some big shit. If you start making research on them, if you go on their Twitter and so on, you can see a huge things that they're developing a decentralized streaming platform on their blockchain platform, which is huge. huge. And you know, a lot of money. For example, YouTube, they're paying tons of money for their streaming platform. So you know, if CMA may actually start to work good, they're going to be worth a lot in future. You know, but you should consider also that Sayacon, for example, is still in development. So you know, always look if cryptocurrency is working, if it's in development like Siacoin, because Siacoin's partly working if you try it, or if it's not working at all, like you know, Redcoin I show you. Yeah, so this is it. The other thing you want to check out if it's cryptocurrency, it's on a lot of exchanges. For example, one thing that makes Litecoin so great is that Litecoin it's not special at all. It's like Dogecoin, the same thing. I don't see the difference between Litecoin and Dogecoin, but you know, anyway. For example, if you want to invest in some cryptocurrency, check out if it's easy to use. For example, Dogecoin is easy to use because you have a lot of wallets that are you can use it. For example, you can use Exodus, and you can send money to somebody who has a different wallet, Jack's wallet or whatever. But some other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, there's almost no wallets for Bitcoin, and it's hard to use. You want the thing that gives something value in everything, in investment, in business, in financial system. It's usability. If something is used by a lot of people, it's very valuable. It's very expensive. For example, iPhone. Everybody are using iPhone. That's why iPhone is very let's say expensive. There's a lot of reasons why iPhone is expensive, but you got my point. Because everybody uses an iPhone, it's expensive. If nobody uses iPhone, nobody is going to buy iPhone. iPhone will not exist. The same thing like Microsoft and and branding. This is the simple explanation why usability is very important. And you can check this by looking at what wallets are supporting Bitcoin, what websites are supporting Bitcoin, what websites are supporting, for example, Litecoin. A lot of websites and a lot of merchandise websites are supporting Litecoin. For example, you can use Litecoin to accept payments on your website. That's why Litecoin is very good, because you can use it in your website to people can pay you something with Litecoin, which cannot be done, for example, with Bitcoin, or even that Dogecoin is not that developed like Litecoin. The other thing you can look is if a cryptocurrency is on a lot of exchanges, which also means that it's usable. For example, Litecoin is like 1,000 exchanges. It's almost it's on every exchange, which means it's very easy to access, and everybody can buy Litecoin and and use it. That's called usability. It means that it brings value to a cryptocurrency. That's why Dogecoin, for example, is very Dogecoin. That's why some of the reason that Dogecoin's so famous and hold this value here, because a lot of people can buy Dogecoin on all these exchanges. On the other hand, Bitcoin, there's a limited exchanges who use Bitcoin. Just 8 exchanges. And the main one is just Poloniex. So you got my point here. You need something that's used a lot. For example, Litecoin is used a lot. That's why will increase in value. So what else? Yeah, main thing you need to do if you do research, go through all these things and start looking at their website, or their social media, Twitter, GitHub, Slack, everything. If you want to make a decent decision, look if it's if somebody can use it in real life, like Litecoin. You can buy a t-shirt on on some websites with Litecoin and so on. For example, Bitcoin, you can buy even some stuff on Amazon with Bitcoin. So that's why Bitcoin brings value, because it's used by a lot of people. What else? If you know some other techniques, you can do research on cryptocurrencies. Share it in the comments below. I'm not going to hold you anymore. I'm probably forgetting something, but my brain cannot recall anymore ideas. Yeah, I'm going to just show you some. Yeah, that's a good that I remember. I'm going to show you some bad examples for investing. For example, what is a bad thing to invest? I'm going to show you, for example, which one? There's so much coins that you can, put money everywhere, but let's say chain coin is another thing. I'm going to talk about chain coin later. Chain coin is very, very misleading. Be careful with chain coin. Flooring coin. Which one was that? Always look if cryptocurrency it's Feather coin, Fast coin, Fun coin. Feather coins, it's decent cryptocurrency. Yeah, there were some cryptocurrencies without a website, some dead cryptocurrency. Like there is no developers, there is no even the wallets. You can barely download. You cannot download the wallet because there is no place where you can download the wallet, and people are still putting money. So, be sure that there's people behind the cryptocurrency. Let's talk about 1037. A lot of people put money into this cryptocurrency, but as I said before, for something to be valuable, it needs to be used. And what this cryptocurrency is used to, I'm not so deep into 1337 because I didn't do actually a big research on it. But if you go to this cryptocurrency, it's, sorry that I'm going to say this, but for me it's useless. You go into their website, you see SoundCloud, what the and the new logo. You're going to to acquire buyers, investors by a new logo. I know it's important, but and let's read more about what is this coin about. So this coin is, you can even hardly understand what this coin is. Okay, they are proof of stake. This is good. Several ways can I help? Slack channel. Yeah, this is a cryptocurrency for donations. But you never know what people are going to do with your money. You can invest in this coin, and the developers, the people who hold this cryptocurrency, they can cash out this money and run away, because this cryptocurrency is pre-mined. If you look the total supply, I'm not sure if this is billion. Yeah, this is probably billions, 23 billions. This means that this cryptocurrency is pre-mined, and the developers, the people who fork this coin, they're holding a big amount of coins that they are probably going to sell and cash out. The same thing happened to Chaincoin, for example. So the next thing, they're not actually a charity. They probably I actually I don't know what this coin is, but it's probably not put in work. It's probably not working. I don't want to say bad words about this coin, but you know, it's not on a lot of exchanges. It's just some crappy exchanges. And other thing is that if you want to check if a cryptocurrency is good for investment, you have to see if it has some big competitors. For example, these cryptocurrencies, NEO and shares, they have very, very big competitor in the name of Ethereum. So probably NEO has to have something very, very different than Ethereum to be, that valuable. I'm also not so deep in NEO, but yeah, the total supply is 100 million, which is good, but do your research. If you payments contact. Yeah, this is just another cryptocurrency. Like there is hundreds and hundreds of cryptocurrencies that can do probably the same thing as 1337. So you need to search for something unique, because I told you. Okay, this is probably pretty much shit. I want to show you this crappy coin. Fedora coin, I think it was Fedora. Yeah, Fedora. Here it is, Fedora coin. I think they don't even have a website. Yeah, I remember some people actually bought a lot of Fedora coins. Oh, look, this is some pump and dumpers probably. So look at this, Fedora coin doesn't even have a website. So do your research and at least check out if they have a website. They're not even on any exchange. So this is, yeah. Oh yeah, another thing. ICOs. Be very careful with ICOs, because, for example, I was tempted to invest in this ICO called Polybus. And it's like it's blockchain bank. And I remember, let's go to this website, the website, man. What was their website? Sign in. I hope okay, sign in. I hope they don't make me verification. Come on, man. So I have to do a verification, which I'm not going to do right now. But anyway, I bought 1.5 of this. Fuck, where the hell am I? 1.5 of this Polybus coins on when the ICO was for $10, I think. Yeah, for $10. So right now I just actually lost money from this ICO, because usually the prices are going even lower from the initial ICOs. So if you put some money in the ICOs, the chances that after the ICO your stocks will probably go down. I'll give you the example of with IOTA. Yeah, you can say IOTA because it was the ICO was like 2 years ago. But anyway, IOTA dropped a lot in value after it came out on the blockchain ICE. on the cryptocurrency market cap. But EOS dropped out, I think. Yeah, so see that they was worth almost like $5, and there was times that they were a lot they worth like less than a dollar, you know. This is the ICO, probably the launch, and you know, most of these ICOs are going to die, so be careful with ICOs, because you know you can always invest after the ICO. So that being said, be careful with ICOs. Probably in the 99.9 of the percent, it's not a good idea to invest in ICOs. I personally bought some ICOs, but after the EOS, but after the ICO. So this is it. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave you. Sorry for the video that it's that long. If I missed something, I probably missed something. Comment in the video descriptions, and yeah, you know how to do research on these things. For example, Chaincoin, if you actually do the research on Chaincoin, you're going to see that Chaincoin doesn't have an actual developers, and the last change on Chaincoin was done like 2014 and so on. So you get my idea. Good luck with your investments, and I'm expecting a lot of good things from Bitcoin, you know. It's probably going to be huge next month, so let's hold on and see what's going to happen. See you, and good luck, guys. Bye.